Yeah, so y'all are gonna be our sound check
Is
person.
it too loud?
Any level things? Yeah, cool.
Does
Very
my
cool.
voice need to be louder? Or drum need to be soft? Okay, good.
Good.
Okay, let us
Community.
know.
Yeah, this is great. Community. Feedback.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let's do Crooked Road.
All right, let's do it. This is a new rendition of an old song.
Do you think it's gonna be bad to put this right in front of this thing?
Nah, that'll be fine. You just gotta set the throne for me if you will.
So since this is like a nice, intimate crowd, I'll share some of the happenings behind the stories of the songs. We just revamped this song and wrote it in a different way because we were doing a live video at this really beautiful place in Florida called the Delray Children's Garden, which is this beautiful, beautiful space where children are invited to interact with nature, and they have all kinds of nature immersion tools and beautiful gardens because Florida's like tropical. You know, they have papayas everywhere and banana trees, and you're just like, jealous. But we visit a lot of community garden projects when we travel. We try to make a point of going to experimental gardens because we have a space in Richmond that we've been building called the Fonticello Food Forest. That's a multi-layered garden of food for both people and non-people, animals. My friend, a very good friend of mine, who's very wise and a neighbor, came to me when I first told him about the food forest idea, and he's like, well, you need food for other animals too. You can't just make this so anthropomorphic.
Make sure you're calling it a food forest for multiple creatures.
What would the word be? Anthrocentric?
What would the word be? Anybody? Oh, did you tune my ukulele?
I did.
You did, thank you. Try that.
Sit on this little tiny step is kind of weird, but
You need to make sure which,
Jameson plays the harmonium with his foot in this song, which is kind of, I don't like it that much, but
I like it.
It is what it is, yeah. But often he's barefooted and he's like been stepping in mud, and then he like puts his muddy feet on my harmonium, but we'll just deal with it today. You have socks on, that's good.
I've got socks on.
Oh, the crane bows his head to the stream so cold. Oh, the snake swims ahead to the tide river flows, and the smallest seed carries thousands of trees, and the cloudy rays still grow abundant fields and will grow. And will grow. And will grow. Calls a bee
How
Sure. So we'll.
Wow, Reaver! You know our secrets! No, don't look at me!
The singing secret. Put some reverb on it.
Put some reverb on it. Like a bird.
We'll do like waves tonight. So like super hyper, and then mellow. We'll move into a mellow song. That song that we just played is about grief. It's about climate denial. And the words are the ending word.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's my butt in your face.
I'm used to being enclosed. We live in this camper that's 75 square feet. And we lived in it for 5 years. We bought it when we first bought our house because our house was so messed up and old and needed so much repair, and it was unsafe to live in the house while we were doing the repair. And so we got this 1960s camper that's very small, and then we just kept living in it, and we started renting out the house to friends instead of moving into the house because we just go on tour all the time. So we're like, we just lock up our camper and leave. But yeah, we're used to close quarters.
You're talking about the line.
Oh yeah. So the line at the end of the song is it's kind of depressing. It's we are forests in the kiln, and the water can be lost. The poison often spills when the mountains turn to dust. And about how, like, we see the things happening around us. They've been happening for a long time. The forest in the kiln specifically is talking about Wassaic, New York. They built kilns into the mountainside to burn trees to make coal for New York City back in the day. And they just burned forests, like huge acres, thousands of acres of forest in New York State to make coal to heat people's homes in the city. And then those kilns are still there. You can go visit them. This is a song about coyotes. The coyote dogs that live behind our house and howl when the ambulances go by.
Yeah, so if anybody's ever passed through Richmond, Virginia, we have a collective project called Earthfolk Collective. If anybody's ever passed through Richmond, Virginia, we have a collective project called Earthfolk Collective. And it's right in the middle of the city, but it's very unique because it feels like it's out in the country. And we have a wild coy dog pack right behind our house. And a coy dog is when a coyote mates with a feral dog and makes a coy dog. And they howl every time a siren comes by, and they're very just powerful protectors of the land in a way. And so we wrote a song kind of asking them how they stay warm and just sort of pondering parts of their life. What is what?
Oh. There was a piece of lint jumping on the drum as I was playing. I thought it was an ant that was stuck and being on some kind of crazy giant trampoline, and I was just imagining myself as the ant. I like to sometimes look at things like flowers. Like sometimes I'll look at these flowers and I'll imagine being a bug and being inside of the flower and how amazing it must look. I mean, you don't even know how bugs perceive vision. They have probably, you look through bug eyes and you just be like, whoa, this world is crazy. But just the difference of perspective, all the tiny, beautiful micro universes that are in our universe. But that would not have been a nice reality to be an ant on the drum at that moment.
I think ants kind of surrender to that stuff pretty quickly. It's a brutal life for an ant, so I think a lot of the ants that we see out in the open, they're just like, nah, I'm gonna die. Ants are amazing, right? The queen can live for like 13 to 16 years, and then the ones that go outside of the colony only live a few days or a week. Ants grow and cultivate crops. I don't know if you knew that. They grow mushrooms, both for feeding and also to clean the senses that they have, because they communicate through scent. And they're just like really wild animals. I think about insects a bunch, though, because I want to respect the autonomy of every individual creature, but bugs have a whole different kind of brutal than we'll see mammals and other kinds of animals. We think that the hunter and prey, like a lion getting an antelope, seems brutal. There are insects that plant their eggs in other bugs' brains so that when they hatch, they can eat the bug from the inside out so that it can facilitate life. You're just like, dang, that's I don't see any birds doing that. That's brutal.
I don't know what song to play after that. That's so weird.
Oh, brutal. We need a brutal song.
Oh, honeysuckle bittersweet.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
No. Let's do honeysuckle bittersweet.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, this song's. Whoa. Let me check again. This song is brutal because it's about having to battle the vines when they start growing, like right now, and also vines as negative, as thought patterns that are not helpful for us when they start taking over our mind and needing to take the time to remediate them from our minds. So this is a song about nature and trying to keep it somewhat from being overtaken, but also about our mental health. I'm setting all the wrong drones today. Okay. 6, 7, 8. Your heart is overgrown, down to the greed. It's braided up your spine. Honeysuckle, remediate your mind. It's a dark beneath. Turn up the sound now. Turn up the sound now. Let it breathe.
Sure. I'm gonna play some mouth harp. If that's cool with y'all.
That song that I was just singing, it's also about like having to till, which is weird because I'm also I understand the concept of no tilling. The people that live on the land with us, our landmates, decided to till our garden this year, and we hadn't tilled in years. And because they felt like the crabgrass was getting so intense that we just had to, or what we weren't gonna have success. And it was definitely traumatizing for me. I was like sitting up, I was like, ugh. And of course, they accidentally, like, a snake accidentally got injured that was living in the garden, and it just felt like so much violence that was being inflicted upon the earth at that moment. But I also understand that sometimes if you just need to reprogram, or like, I'm thinking of the mind analogy, that sometimes that kind of intensity is required. I don't know, I'm still holding it. Like, we'll see if it did add to more fertility of the soul, the turbulence, but yeah. Mouth harp.
Well, I get it. It's a joke for me. I'm gonna play my favorite mouth harp song to play, which is our rendition of 16 Tons. It's an old, I don't know, if you've heard me play before, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't heard it, it's 16 Tons is an old Appalachian coal mining kind of protest song from the 1950s. And this is our version of it. Sounds very different. I gotta trim my mustache. See?
What have you got? Another day older. You heard and dead. The heater, don't you call me? I can't go. Throw my soul to the company. under your fire power.
Bringing it back with you. Let me tighten up my drum a little bit. We're so grateful for y'all being here. Thank you so much for having us here at Yoga Garden, Lexi. We really appreciate it. Thanks to
We
everyone.
told Lexi we were gonna play at sunset, so it's like 6:30 to when the sun's gone. Yeah, so it's probably not. We're probably not gonna go all the way to the time that we said. We'll probably play a few more, like maybe 3. Or if you want us to like, you're like, you have to keep going. We can keep going. Yeah.
Does somebody have a song that they want to hear right now? Oh, Lainey wants to play a song. And then he'll come back to you. Your drones tonight. You drone it.
Drones tonight.
Oh yeah. I'm done.
What's going on here? Oh, my drones tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that song that I just played, I wrote right when we got back from a long trip in Varanasi, India, where we got this harmonium. And we have a very good friend who's in Varanasi right now. I've been messaging her online and talking to her. It's 111 degrees in Varanasi right now. It's so intense. I can't even imagine it
That's
being
Celsius. I'm just kidding.
111 degrees. Yeah. Um, so and she's just like, it's so intense. Like, it's already an intense experience, and to be so hot, I can only imagine. So that goes out to her and everyone in Varanasi, everyone in India who's just really hot and uncomfortable right now.
I guess which leads us to our next song, Standing.
Yeah, so a lot of our work that we've been doing in Virginia, we do a lot of environmental work, specifically with the pipeline resistance movement in Virginia that are fighting ACP, Atlantic Coast Pipeline, and MVP, Valley Pipeline. ACP, if it is built, would run through North Carolina also. So that's something that we have in common with our communities. We do a lot of organizing work just in different ways. And one way is we use our platform to talk to people about the issue. And we've been given permission by this amazing activist and songwriter named Betsy Rose to share this song called Standing Like a Tree that she wrote in 1982. And then we found and we're like, we just gotta sing this song for the movement. The movement needs it because there's tons of people living in the trees in Appalachia in southwestern Virginia blocking the Mountain Valley Pipeline. Because the ACP hasn't started being built yet, but Mountain Valley Pipeline, they have started cutting the trees and laying the pipe. And so people for the past year have been blockading different areas of the national forest and of people's of land. And right now there's a sit called Elliston between Blacksburg and Roanoke. And it's a really wonderful place to visit because they're actually open to visitors. Most of these places where people are tree sitting are not open to the public. But Elliston, it has been open to the public. And they've been there for over 222 days, living in the trees. They switch out. Some people have been there for a month, some people for a week. And it's just really, it's been a very effective blockade. And we sing this song in solidarity with them, all the people who have sat in the trees in Appalachia, and all people that will sit in the trees in the future. And
if y'all want to talk to us at all about that kind of work, it takes a diversity of tactics. And so if you're thinking to yourself, well, I would really like to get involved, but I'm not sure if I'm the kind of person that could sit in a tree, for a month. There's a lot of different ways to get involved and to start the momentum behind our continuous sort of perpetuation and investment in fossil fuel infrastructure. So if you want some ideas, just some basic sort of ways that you can participate or even support these groups or these organizations that are doing that kind of work, then please come talk to us afterwards and plug in. And there's areas here in North Carolina that need that support as well.
standing like a tree with my roots stuck down, my branches wide and open. Standing like a tree with my roots stuck down, my branches wide and open.
I realized halfway through that song we totally neglected coming back to you. Oh, cool.
Whoa, I can sing it. I can sing it a cappella. I don't have my accordion.
We want to actually
That song-
revive that one, so
that
thank you for
song-
telling us,
Thank
because
you.
that's gonna make that'll mean next band practice that I can be like, see, somebody asked for it.
Yeah.
We have to work on it.
So, Termino is off of our album. We Hear the Ocean. We never play it really. But
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of songs that we've written in Spanish. We have a Spanish name, Lobo Marino, because we became a band when we were living in South America in Chile, and we wrote an album there, and we needed to name the band, and so we named it after the giant Pacific sea lion that we had been watching every day for months while we lived in Valdivia, Chile. We were working in a restaurant and in a youth hostel there.
So in Spanish it's called a sea wolf, but what we would call a sea lion.
Yeah.
It's just a fun interpretive difference.
Yeah, but Termino is like the most blatant, like song prayer of like, may this war between humanity and the earth end, like let it be finished. Like that's what I'm saying.
Do you want to just pick a drone for your harmonium?
No, I just want to sing it a cappella.
Okay.
Terminó la lucha, la lucha, la lucha. Terminó la lucha, la lucha. Terminó la lucha, la lucha. Terminó la lucha, la lucha. Entre la humanidad y la tierra, 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 terminó la lucha, la lucha, la lucha, terminó la lucha, la lucha, terminó la lucha, la lucha, terminó la lucha, la lucha. Do we have any more requests? No? Okay, then I'll play one more song that I've been really excited about.
Sure.
So through all of the environmental work that we've been doing, one of the biggest revelations that I've had is that we talk so much about like who owns what land and eminent domain, and like the government can just take your land for power companies, private interests, like that's what the whole conversation is. And it just led me to think of, we don't own land. That's like such a false notion. Like the land is here, we are born, we live on the land, we die, the land remains. Like, who owns who? And then nobody owns anybody. It's just a piece of paper that you sign. Like, I own land, but it doesn't, like, I don't think of it like I can do anything to the land. I think that I'm living with the land, I'm in relationship with the land. We're supporting each other. I'm trying to read it, do what it needs, and it gives me life because it gives me food. And this whole concept of ownership with our pieces of papers and our signatures is like, come on. So this song is about that. It's about the autonomy of beings in nature, having their own beingness outside of our projections on them. And yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned last time too. It's that concept too is leading its way to an interesting environmental activities as well. Like there are groups of people that are organizing as conservationists to advocate for the sovereignty or the personhood of bodies of water or bodies of land. So the Amazon and the Nile are some ones that show that. Not saying that they still don't have pollution problems, but that are advocating for the same types of ways that corporations use their personhood to, say their civil rights are being blocked by not having these types of, infrastructure projects. This is sort of a way to counter that, of like that these bodies of waters have autonomy and have personhood as well, and so they can have a conservation group of people advocating for them to not be used in fossil fuel infrastructure or in ways that they would be profited off of. So that's that's a movement as well, rights of nature, if you want to look it up.
I played this with a rock band 2 days ago, so I don't remember what it's like now. Don't steal the land, don't steal the land, don't steal the land. Don't steal the land, don't steal the land, don't steal the land. These mountains are not yours, they're not ours. They belong to themselves, the ancient, ancient ones. These rivers are not yours, they're not ours. They belong to themselves, the ancient, ancient ones. Oh, Chesapeake and all the creeks that lead to the mighty James, Blue Ridge Mountains, Appalachia, all the beings here and after with no voice. Like the blood in our bodies is not for sale. So our rivers, valleys, hills, and air are not for sale. Don't steal the land, 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 don't steal the land. These mountains are not yours, they're not ours. They belong to themselves, the ancient, 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 ancient ones. These rivers are not yours, they're not ours. They belong to themselves, the ancient, 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 ancient ones. Don't steal the land, 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 don't steal the land. Well, I feel good unless y'all want something else. Mass, uno más.
Want to do Come With Me?
You want higher vibe or lower vibe? How about celebrate?
Yeah.
Hmm?
We can do.
Oh, it's like all of our songs, like every single song. Yeah, I got another
I
one
got
for
one
you.
for ya.
Yeah, right.
Just happened to
I
happen.
know, it's so funny. Our homestead project in Richmond is called the Earth Folk Collective, and we like to think of it as its own genre of music, of like, because there are a bunch of us that are just obsessed with singing songs about nature, and all of our songs are about nature, and so sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna start my Earth Folk label, and I just tell my friends, I'm like, did you know that you're part of the Earth Folk genre? And they get confused.
Feel free to look that project up, though. That project, or Folk Collective, as well. We helped found a public food forest as well across the street.
I talked about it all in the beginning.
Oh yeah. All right, cool.
No.
Oh yeah, this is a park with trees and they have fruit on them.
The song Celebrate is about celebrating a time that has not come yet, where we stop putting our energy into weapons. will come one day. I'm so frustrated. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 4 steps back. Our house, like, we heard thunder the other night, and I was like, "It's World War III. It started already." You know, I'm just always waiting for World War III.
Oh no.
Yeah, but this is instead in the other paradigm where we stop building weapons and hurting each other and hurting the earth, and instead put our energy towards healing ourselves and healing our relationship with each other, healing our relationship with the earth. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for donating. For those who have donated, please donate if you'd like on your way out. It sustains us and the space. And you can totally offer to help Lexi bring things in. We'll help her too. We have some of our merchandise over there. Donations for the merchandise are separate from the back boxes. We have t-shirts, mouth harps, free stickers, CDs, cassettes, all kinds of stuff. And just thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time. We're in Pittsboro. We love it here. It's such a wonderful little special place. They say the war is over, the children are coming home. The time has come for us to separate. We know we cannot hesitate. To appreciate the light, the darkness and the sun. The time has come for us to separate. 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 The ocean refuses no river. The ocean refuses no river. Hallelujah, hallelujah. The ocean refuses
right.
Swallowed a bug. Yeah.
You want to do lullaby and call it?
No, it's, oh, they wanted to leave on the up note. Okay, so those of you who want to leave on the up note, you can go now, and then we'll play this like super lullaby.
We can be done. That's fine.
I'm not. I mean, I'm here for y'all, so I don't care. I'll do whatever. Huh? With a bug in my throat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I feel good. If you feel good, I feel good.
Yeah, thanks you guys for coming down.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for coming out. Thank you to Yoga Garden for having us. And yeah, and we'll hope to be back soon. If you think of a place in this town that we should play, let us know. We always like playing new places. We're fantasizing about an upstairs show in the winter in that little alcove, like a listening room. So yeah.
Candles.
Yeah, candles. Have a great week. Happy Sunday. Happy birthday to us. For those of us who it's our birthday. My birthday's tomorrow. It's my birthday tomorrow. And thank you to Aaron for live streaming everything. Yay! Thank you so much, Aaron. So if you want to relive the experience, you can on TajTalk.com.
So there you have it, folks. Lobo Marino live here in Pittsboro, North Carolina. Discuss, Upon, Deliver. Have a great week. Send everyone to TajTalk.com. We appreciate you very much. All right. I'll see you when I see you. I'm all out of time. Thank you, Lobo Marino. We appreciate you.